Hello. I first off wanted to thank you all for joining us and reviewing our projects. We know you guys have extremely busy schedules, and we appreciate you carving out some time to take a step back and review what we've been doing here with Mark in Studio 5 at CU Denver. This is Studio 5, Anticlinical. We're looking at a healthcare facility for SALUD family health, both in a master planning and a formal health clinic. As you can see, the site here is located approximately 12 miles east of Denver at the intersection of Colfax and Airport Boulevard. Looking at a couple of small multiples, we start to see some of these site adjacencies. First off, we started to look at population densities relative to the site. To the northeast and the southwest, we do have some more dense residential neighborhoods. To the northeast is a trailer park, and to the southwest is a residential neighborhood in a crash zone for the Air Force Base southeast of here. To the west is a lot of commercial zoning, and to the east is more rural farmland. As you can see, there is a gradient of densities on the site, something that we were interested in taking a look at when we started to distribute program across the master plan. From these densities, we started to look at two primary nodes on the formal site, one that is designated as an open active node and the other that is a private and calm node. This will begin to dictate where we start to move program throughout the site. Moving down into the immediate adjacencies, there were a couple of things that myself and Sam wanted to take a look at. First off was the green space immediately to the north of the site across Colfax, and secondly was an existing drainage swale that runs horizontally across the site and then to the south into the neighborhood. We began to explore the idea of pulling the green space into the site, as well as incorporating the site swale as primary circulation throughout the site. From this, we started to hypothesize on a thesis. We really wanted to acknowledge that Aurora is a vibrant patchwork of people, various nationalities, languages, and backgrounds, and that's something we really wanted to celebrate. In addition, we wanted to challenge the antiquated notion of clinical treatment and its associated cold, standoffish architecture. In doing so, we wanted to look at two primary moves. First is the notion of soft boundaries, and second is the creation of harbored zones, an attempt to create an inviting setting for both community building and interpersonal healing at a wellness campus. Moving into some party diagrams, there are two, one in plan, one in section. First off, we wanted to leverage the existing ground plane in order to create these harbored zones. In doing so, we wanted to look at tilting this plane to create these nested zones for program to sit that offer protection for both sound and visual noise from Colfax, a very busy artery running through the site. Second was a plan party. We wanted to utilize a box scheme. We wanted to split that box to allow for circulation immediately through the program on site as an attempt to invite people through different pieces of program. In addition to that, we wanted to perforate the edges of various programmatic pieces in an attempt to bridge the boundary from outside to inside on the site. The resulting party diagram is shown here as a single line in a box expressing these ideas. From here, I want to talk briefly about our site morphology. We wanted to utilize, again, this ground plane to create these harbored zones. So the first step is really to pivot the ground plane. After that, we start to nest program within this, and then we start to leverage the natural topography to drive circulation throughout the site and start to carve up the volumes on the site. In similar fashion, I wanted to look at the morphology for the formal clinic itself. We utilized a two-box scheme. We shifted the volumes to provide some opportunities for entry into the space. We wanted to vault the ceiling to create these harbored safety zones, again, leveraging that ground plane and actually pulling the green space from across Colfax up onto the building to create those protection zones. Finally, again, we carve the formal clinic and this massing up to bring people directly through the clinic itself and start to dissolve those boundaries. As we begin to take a brief look at the program on the clinic itself, from the top to the bottom, we started to assign program throughout the three masses. One mass becomes the acute treatment center. One mass becomes more of an administrative volume, and the largest northeastern side becomes family medicine and pediatrics and some associated program. Moving from top to bottom, we have mechanical spaces at the top of the building. Down from there, in the family and pediatric side, we start to house dental and the family medicine. In the administrative side, we start to stack administration and telemedicine. And in the acute treatment side, we house laboratories and acute treatment offices. Moving down, in the main family medicine mass, we start to house some atriums, double height to start to open it up and dissolve boundaries to provide a more open feeling of entry. We also place dental in here. This provides easy access for those visiting the site to really leverage their visit for more than one purpose. In the acute treatment side, we start to bury some parking below it, as well as in the administrative side. And then in the bottom of the larger family and pediatric, we place our pharmacy and then lockable storage for easy access for patients utilizing that mass.